Joining me now, Communications Director for the California Republican Assembly, founder of the Uncommon Sense Media Group, and a Project 21 ambassador for the first time, Craig DeLuz on the program. Craig, thanks for joining me. Did you always know? Because I didn't know. I mean, I thought they were scumbags, but I didn't know the SPLC was this dirty in that they're taking the money and giving it to the groups they say they fight. And then I find out they're connected to CARE, which CARE, in my opinion, is a terror group because they're connected to the Muslim Brotherhood. Welcome to the program.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here. You know, I'll tell you, it's new to me, but it doesn't surprise me. This is a group that takes organizations that are clearly doing good and promoting the American way of life, groups like Turning Point USA or Prager University, and they're labeling them as hate groups while at the same time ignoring groups like Jane's Revenge or Antifa, who are actively engaging in violence against those with whom they disagree.
Right.
I find it outrageous to only then to turn around and find out that they would then fund groups. I mean, well, I will say fund groups. I will say fund individuals who would eventually rise to leadership positions in organizations like the KKK and the National Socialist Party, which, by the way, is the Nazi party.
Yeah, Craig, this is like a police department, right? A police chief saying, hey, give me a couple million in the budget on the side. And when we get some bad guys in our local jails, before we let them out, let's pay them to go back into their groups, cause more crime so we can fight it, and then I can keep my budget big for my police department. That's what the SPLC was doing, right?
Well, that's what they claim.
They were doing, right, I got to say allegedly.
Here's the problem. The problem is that they have law enforcement powers to be able to do that. Now, let's keep in mind, these groups, SPLC is not being charged with hate. They're being charged with opening up false companies, opening up companies and bank accounts under false names, transferring and wiring money to individuals under false names. Now, whether or not what they were doing was as informants or as paying agitators, the crimes they committed are real crimes. They are financial crimes. You are not allowed to do that. And that's exactly what they're being charged with.
What should happen to this group, in your opinion? If the allegations from the Department of Justice, and Todd Blanche laid them out the other day, if these all find and ring true in a court of law and they're found guilty, what should happen to a group like this? And the money, because they're sitting on 100, 200 million bucks, allegedly.
At the very least, they need to lose their nonprofit status. I think we need to continue to reveal to the world stuff that's going on with this organization because they're being used, their data, their information is being used by corporations and by governments to set and establish policy. And as you had already noted, anyone who's remotely right of center is deemed a bigot, is deemed a racist, is deemed hateful, and therefore is denied advertising dollars from major advertising.
It happened to us, as you know, Craig. It happened to us at OAN.
Exactly. You're denied opportunities at government jobs, government contracts, or opportunities to work with government programs or government grants. They are literally guilty of, they're guilty of defrauding or committing to sort of fraud that has harmed others. If nothing else, they're also open to a bunch of lawsuits. They may want to hold on to some of that money because I think some folks are going to be available to sue them. But at the very least, they should lose their nonprofit status. And to the degree that individuals can be identified as having violated the law and violated the trust of their donors, they ought to see some jail time.
I agree. Greg, thank you so much for coming on and weighing in on this. I have a feeling we'll be talking with you